Ernest Shackleton leads by example. What qualities come to mind when you think of leadership? Much of Ernest Shackleton's leadership skills appear to come from a place of instinct. However, when looking closer, one can see the distinct connection between Shackleton's behaviors and Cosner and Posner's 2012 book, The Five Practices of Exemplary Leadership. As we will illustrate throughout this presentation, each of the Causes and Posner's five practices presents themselves as Ernest Shackleton struggles to save the men under his care. Before we get into Shackleton's extraordinary leadership, let's first review the five practices of exemplary leadership. Model the Way is about knowing who you are and allowing your values to guide your behavior, which in turn allows you to lead. Inspire a Shared Vision is encouraging and sharing ideas about how things could be different, and as a leader, you are able to get others to share in that idea. Challenge the Process is helping others to see that the way it has always been is not acceptable. We must tackle the unknown, try new things, and learn. Enable Others to Act is using relationship building to work together and not simply going alone. Encourage the Heart is being able to interact with teams with encouragement, appreciation, and care. As these practices are explored relative to Ernest Shackleton's leadership, his exemplary leadership will reveal itself. Shackleton began finding his voice and clarifying his values at an early age. He was known during his time in the Merchant Marines for being hardworking and accomplished. However, he rarely flaunted his accomplishments. These behaviors allowed him to model the way for his team throughout the endurance expedition. An expedition member said, Shackleton's own demeanor was essential to maintaining morale during the long stay on the boat. He is one of the greatest optimists living. He modeled optimism, which helps his team stay engaged and positive during the trying times of the expedition. Being one of the first men to explore Antarctica and reach the South Pole is a perfect example of how Shackleton envisioned the future and saw new possibilities. He not only had a desire to explore the new and unknown, he was able to enlist others to help him achieve his goal. He raised funds for his expedition, he acquired boats and materials, and he recruited a team. Each of these demonstrate his ability to inspire a vision in others. Once the expedition was underway, Shackleton continuously looked for ways to improve and experiment in order to help achieve the goals of their expedition. After the ship was lost, Shackleton did not give up. He worked to find new and better ways to ration food and manage the team's leadership. While assembling his team, Shackleton looked for qualities he associated with optimism, a personal trait he felt was essential for men undertaking a potentially dangerous and difficult mission. This quality also helped to build relationships amongst team members. 28 ordinary turned extraordinary men, led by Shackleton's example, survived nearly 2 years of unimaginable hardship at the end of the earth, which is proof of how effective Shackleton was at building trust and camaraderie amongst his men. Shackleton was known for creating a spirit of community. After abandoning ship, Shackleton showed over and over his commitment to his men. One expedition member recalled how after the ship was lost, Shackleton dragged petrol cans from the wreck of the boat and began preparing hot powdered milk for breakfast for his men. In conclusion, we will close with a quote from New York Times writer Nancy Cohan. To get his men home safely, he led them across ice, sea, and land with all the tools he could muster. This combination, credible commitment to a larger purpose, and flexible, imaginative methods to achieve a goal, is increasingly important in our tumultuous times.